welcome back to Food Prep Guide. Lately we have been bringing you all sorts of homemade recipes to common store-bought staples. Just different ways that we can save money at the grocery store by just not having to buy that item at the grocery store and making it ourselves at home. So this is one of those videos, and I am particularly excited about it because it's some kind of a new to me discovery, and it involves our sweet quick bread mix. This is a pantry mix that we have brought you in a past video where we showed you step by step how to make this pantry mix. So I will link that down in the description box below. You can find that recipe there. And it is essentially, when I first started making it, I only used it for quick breads like pumpkin bread and banana bread. And then we like to do a chocolate chip cranberry bread as well. But I started noticing the more that I used it, the more that I realized that, you know what, a lot of the ingredients in this mix is so similar to a whole lot of other quick bread type baked goods like muffins and waffles and this other type of dessert that I just threw some stuff together. My daughter recently wanted to cook without a recipe, and we discovered an incredibly delicious dessert that we will be bringing you soon. But I've just been experimenting and making this, or using this mix for so many different things, and it has been working phenomenally. I was concerned that the ratios that are inside this mix would not work well for the type of ratios in other baked goods, because a lot of baking is all about ratios. It's a lot of the same ingredients, but they're all kind of in different ratios. If you want a cake, if you want waffles, if you want a quick bread, it's very similar ingredients, but it's just in different ratios. And I thought that would be an issue, but it is turning out to not be much of an issue at all for a lot of these recipes. So today I want to bring you how to turn your jar of your sweet quick bread mix into muffins, how to use it to make muffins. And this is another way that you can use your home preserved goods. Of course you don't have to, you can absolutely buy it from the store. But one of the common items that are in a home canning pantry is pie filling, also jams, and then also just canned fruit. A lot of us can fruits, jams, or pie fillings from the garden, from the farmer's market, from deals that we get in the peak of summer when those produce items are at rock bottom prices, and then we can preserve them through our pantry and use throughout the year. But a lot of these, wow, this got really dirty. A lot of those recipes for me, when I first started canning, they sat on the shelf and didn't get used very much because I made a bunch of pie filling because that was like a popular thing to do with apples and peaches, but we don't eat pie. So I had to get creative with how I used that pie filling, and now that I have used it all different ways, I now know that yes, pie filling, even though we don't eat pie, is still a very important part of the pantry because we can use it multiple different ways, and one of them is muffins. So you can do a pint of pie filling or a can of pie filling at the store, pair it with your sweet quick bread mix, and you have extremely quick muffins. So I'm going to get you closer, set up the camera, and we're going to make up this recipe real quick. By the way, if you would like help building your food storage, scroll down to the description box of this video and click this link for our free 1-year food storage plan. We calculated a year's supply of food for one person, then broke that data down into a week-by-week list of items to build your pantry on a budget. We'll send it straight to your inbox. If you're new here, we invite you to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss all of our upcoming food preservation, pantry storage, and gardening tutorials. Now back to the kitchen. To turn your sweet quick bread mixture into muffins, we're just going to dump the jar into the bowl. That's going to be our base. It's got all of our baking ingredients in it already. And then we're going to take our 1 pint of whatever pie filling you want, whether store-bought or homemade. Today we're doing blueberry. I'm going to pour the liquid in and everything, the entire jar. Even though it's pretty liquidy, that's fine because we're going to make up for that by not adding your traditional muffin ingredients. So a lot of muffin ingredients call for milk and water. We're not going to add milk or water to this because our liquid is coming from that pie filling. If you can do the same thing with jam and even jellies, and you don't have to add the liquid, you don't have to add the milk and water to that either. We are going to add oil, however. So I'm going to be adding a 1/4 cup of coconut oil. You can use whatever oil that you want. My coconut oil is in a completely liquid state right now. This was in my freeze dryer room, and I'm running my freeze dryer right now, and it gets very hot. So my coconut oil is straight liquid, which works out good for this recipe. So a 1/4 cup of whatever oil you want. And y'all, I just add a splash of vanilla extract to just about anything I bake. I don't measure, just a splash. And then we need 2 cups, or not 2 cups, 2 eggs. Our preheating is done. I preheated the oven to 375 degrees. You just heard it beep. So 375 degrees Fahrenheit. And that is it. We're not adding any milk or liquid, or water, I should say. We did add the liquid in the form of oil. Now we just give that all a good mix, and I will say that every now and then, depending on whether I'm using pie filling, jam, or jelly, I'm going to be making a judgment call on whether or not it does need a splash of milk. And that judgment call is going to be based on how the dough or the batter is looking. I'm sure pretty much everyone watching this video has made muffins at some point in their life, so you know the consistency that we're looking for. And this is looking actually pretty good all by itself. Now this batter, we're using, like I said, blueberry pie filling, so these muffins turn out a light purple color. The whole muffin batter is this light purple color. Well, it's dark purple, but when it bakes, it'll turn really light. See how dark that is? When it bakes, the muffins will be a lot lighter. But we love them. The taste is phenomenal, and the kids just love, they just love their little purple muffins. So the consistency, let me try to show you, is this is muffin batter consistency. It could be thinner. I could add a splash of milk to this, because generally your muffin batter is a little bit thinner than this. It kind of runs off the spoon like, you know, immediately. But I don't mind this consistency at all. I think this is just fine. Looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and get my muffin pan out and get those loaded up. Okay, so I like to use the same 1/4 cup spoon that I used to scoop in the oil, and use that to fill up my muffin tins. A 1/4 cup seems to be about right. If I remember correctly, this recipe makes a total of 16 muffins. My muffin pan holds 12, so I will store some in the fridge to make some more when these run out. Muffins do freeze really well, surprisingly. I don't know why. I used to think that bread products didn't freeze good. I used to think that, you know, when they thawed out, they would be all soggy, but they're not. I have since learned that a lot of bread products freeze beautifully, and muffins are one of those. So you could absolutely meal prep these and stick them in your freezer. But that's one of the reasons why I absolutely loved this sweet quick bread mix. We meal prep this mix, and it just makes them so fast and easy to make that I don't feel the need to meal prep the muffins themselves. As long as I have that mix and I can use it to make all sorts of things, then that has been working out beautifully for us. My goal is to go into, so we have a blog post where we provide the recipe for this sweet quick bread mix. It's already on the blog. Like I said, I'll have it linked below. So you can already go there and immediately print out the recipe for this mixture. But on that blog, I have not gone in and added all the new experiments that I've been doing lately. But my goal is to go ahead and update that blog post with all the successful experiments. Some of them have not been successful, so I won't post those. But most of them have. And my goal is to update that post. So be sure to check that out, and I will hopefully have all of the different ways that we use this. I'm going to get this tray cleaned up. I dripped a little bit, and then we'll pop these in the oven. We're going to bake these I'm going to start at 20 minutes, but generally I do need to go longer than 20 minutes, but I just don't want them to burn, so I always just put them in for 20 minutes and then check and see how we're doing after that and see if we need to add 5 or 10 more minutes. So when I take these out of the oven, I will let you know for sure what the total time was for this batch. Okay, so they weren't quite done at 20 minutes. I ended up adding 5 minutes for a total of 25 minutes, and then they were very nicely done. So here's how they turn out. Like I said, nice and purple. Kids love it. And I wanted to show you how they look on the inside, because making these muffins was a little bit different. You know, we didn't use any of the normal milk or butter or water. So I wanted to show you what the inside looks like. I let these cool for about 10 minutes so they were not too hot to touch, but you can see, I mean, that is totally a well-baked muffin, even though we didn't necessarily use the typical ingredients, and they are absolutely delicious. I got some kiddos right behind the camera that are licking their lips. Okay, y'all, I hope that gives you some more ideas to use that sweet quick bread mix that we have brought you. Remember to get that recipe down in the description box below, and we will see you next time. Bye.